So here I am at the Shenton Bushlands to discuss fire management strategies concerning Landcorp and the City of Netherlands. The bushland is a critical habitat for native Australian wildlife. The fauna needs space for foraging, finding mates and improving gene flow between small populations. Buildings and busy roads are major barriers within small areas of Banksia woodland in its connectivity functions. It is more vital than ever to save what we have left. The area contains Banksia woodlands, which was nationally classified in 2016 as a threatened ecological community and rapidly disappearing in Perth. Normally, to clear native bushland containing threatened Banksia woodlands, developers would need a special permit. But a few years ago, new fire safety provisions created exemptions if bush was cleared to protect assets from bushfires in accordance with subdivision approval. Landcorp made a clearing permit application in October 2017 and thousands of submissions were lodged in protest. Landcorp has withdrawn this application to instead make a subdivision DA through the WA Planning Commission, taking advantage of the Bushfire Asset Protection Clause, a move residents characterise as exploiting a loophole and taking the path of least resistance. Landcorp has planned a mixed-use development including medium to high density apartment blocks. The Shenton bushland has a long history of disturbance, including illegal dumping of rubbish, soil, garden waste, car bodies, logging activities, frequent fires, weed invasion, clearing, informal access and other activities such as the construction of the prisoner of war camp along the western portion of the bushland dating back to World War II. This bushland will require specialised fire management regimes as unplanned fires may result in significant loss of plant species due to insufficient time as a result of prescribed burning. The Department of Fire and Emergency Services has identified this area of Banksia woodlands as being highly vulnerable due to the likelihood and potential consequences bushfires will have on them. The City of Netherlands is responsible for emergency management and fire suppression on land which is under their jurisdiction. The area needs to be systematically managed and modified accordingly. The City's Natural Area Management Plan details fire management and monitoring methods, as well as standard operational procedures specifying follow-up actions and who is responsible. The Department of Parks and Wildlife works in conjunction with the Department of Fire and Emergency Services and local government authorities for fire management responsibility. The legislation that provides a framework for these strategies is the Emergency Management Act of 2005 and the State Emergency Plan for Fire. The fire management strategies aim to protect Banksia woodlands from prescribed burning, bushfire prevention and suppression. The WAPC released the Guidelines for Planning in Bushfire-Prone Areas, which provides guidance for local government areas when reviewing development proposals which are located near Banksia woodlands. From these guidelines, I have established strategies that I recommend the City of Netherlands incorporates to manage fire risk within the Shenton Park bushlands. They include a ban on all open fires at all times, reduce fuel loads through controlling of weeds and underscrub, suppress and contain threatening wildfires within the area as quickly as possible, document fire history with the extent of fires mapped and dates and causes recorded, control access to the areas as soon as possible after prescribed burnings. The areas should be limited to management vehicles only for the first 6 to 12 months. Seed germination and resprouting of vegetation or regeneration should be monitored for a year following the fire. Revise weed-controlled strategies after any fires to ensure potential damage to resprouting and germinating plants are minimised and efficiencies are maximised. Landcorp and the previous government has decided from the outset that they want to develop the bushland, despite policy, the science and public opinion. The clearing of yet another Banksia woodland in the western suburbs is completely unnecessary and totally unjustified. This reveals everything that is wrong with Perth planning laws and the associated decision-making processes. Landcorp's proposed redevelopment of this site should incorporate Banksia woodlands management techniques. Instead, it is a shining example of 21st century planning and everything that is wrong with it. Instead, it is the worst example of infill development clearing yet more of Perth's ever-dwindling green space. Their arguments are not only weak, they are false. They can achieve their infill targets with safeguards in place without clearing any of the endangered bushland. We cannot undo past developments. However, we should learn from them and reduce our future impacts. The public should be aware of the environmental and social benefits of conserving and restoring Banksia woodlands, from cooling our city streets to preserving WA's beloved black cockatoos, which rely on these Banksia woodlands. Finding the balance between urban sprawl and healthy woodlands will require collaboration between ecologists, policy scientists, urban planners, developers and local councils. Only with smarter sustainable planning will we secure the successful management and the future of Banksia woodlands that once covered the Swan Coastal Plain.